Today I have ballistic gel that I'll be using for testing. In the future, very soon, I will be coming out with a 6.5 millimeter versus 6 millimeter, and I'll be using the ballistic gel, homemade ballistic gel at that, to test the differences and what it looks like when it goes through the gel and see how the guns feel, recoil, all that stuff. I didn't want to waste the ballistic gel on just my 6.5 Grendel, so I figured I'd come out and test multiple calibers today. So this is a lot longer than the ballistic gel I made in the last video, if you happen to see that. They basically took a cardboard box, lined it with plastic, and then made this. That's why it's got that kind of odd shaping to it, but it came out looking like this. I had to boil it down to 3 times, I think, to get it to be this clear. So for this video, I'm going to actually be testing different calibers. This is 22 long rifle. Then next up in size, I believe would actually be the 38 special. Then you have the 5.7 in the Ruger 57, the 5.56 in Palmetto Armory pistol, and then the 6.5 Grendel and a Diamondback DB15. Usually I would want to start the video with the smallest caliber first, which would be the 22 long rifle, but I really want to see primarily what the 6.5 will do against it. So I'm going to start with taking the thicker side and shooting it, seeing what the 6.5 does, and then hopefully it doesn't destroy it enough that I can use the 22, the 5.7, and the 38. The 38 is one that I don't get to use too often for any videos. It's a Smith & Wesson. I think it's a model 36, not 63, but I have these bullets, which I'd really like to see what they look like when they try to go through, because it has I don't know if you can see, but it has that curve to it, like a spiral. So theoretically, from what I understand, it's supposed to go in and twist as it goes in to leave a more damaging wound. I only have 3 in this because these are really expensive. And then we got the Palmetto State Armory, or PSA 5.56. It is in a pistol form factor because it's got a, I want to say, a 10.5 inch barrel, but today I will be running some green tips, or some might refer to them as 8.55s. I know they're not really armor piercing, but that's what everybody likes to refer to them as. This magazine sucks, but so I will be using this AR pistol for the 5.56 test with the green tips because I ran out of soft point and hollow points on that. So the 22 long rifle is just going to be a hollow point Winchester 5.7. I lined this up last time I used it, so hopefully it works. I got one SS190, I believe is what it's called, in it. The rest are standard Federal full metal jackets. As long as I hit it on the first try for the SS190, or S190? SS190? I think it's SS190. I will hopefully hit it on the first shot and compare the SS190 to the full metal jacket Federals. The 6.5 Grendel is shooting my normal 123 grain ELD max. Yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so this is where I'll be shooting the ballistic gel. Now, the reason I'm shooting it on this is I want it to catch the bigger pieces of this, because I'm going to melt it back down. This is a total of 11 ounces of Knox gelatin powder. I have another 16 ounce thing of it. I'm going to basically make it double the thickness when I do actually make it, but I also forgot to mention that I have, it was on my side when I was looking at all the other guns, is the Smith & Wesson M&P 9mm, which we'll be using the 129 grain law enforcement federal rounds.
what they're called. But I will be melting down the pieces that are left at the end of it. And yeah, so let's see how that ends up going. Ballistic, I guess you call it data, but that looks awesome. I mean, you can see, went in here, started small, started to expand a little bit right there, but then really expanded right here. Did blow out the other end. So as I expected, it's not going to stop the bullet, but I do believe it's good enough to show what the bullet looks like as it goes through. And the fact that it jumped, I wish I had it fully on video, but it jumped like, I want to say 3 feet in the air when it hit. But yeah, let me go ahead and move on to the 22 and we'll move up from there. That was a good shot. Okay. So you can see, this is first 22. Went in, but it came right out the bottom. This one went through and through and through and through. Not the same spot. Expanded, did more damage to the spot where the 6.5 started increasing in size. But you can see they got actual similar entries, except you look at the entry on this one's more damaged from the 6.5, obviously. 22, smaller entry hole, expanded a lot quicker. Understandable. This one expanded a lot more violently. All right, on to the 38 special. Okay, so 38 special shooting low. So I think it ricocheted off of this, went upward. But because you can see, new line starts here, goes up, comes out here. This one looks like it just grazed the gel instead of actually hitting it fully. So the last shot I had on that one though. So did have a cool, almost immediate what's the entry? That is, yeah, that's the entry hole. It made a small entry hole, but immediately started making damage. All right, to the 9. Getting hard to tell, but I believe the 9mm went close to the same hole as the 38 special, but went farther down instead of coming up. Can't really see it. They're all kind of fucking crossing. If I could get something to go through here so I could actually see it, would be better. But 9mm didn't do too terribly much more damage than the 38, so I'm gonna move on to the 5.7. What the fuck? Okay, so it looks like, might be mistaken, but it looks like the 5.7 went like down the middle of all of them at the bottom, and just I know it hit because this wasn't there before, and yeah, looks a little rough. You know what? I'm actually gonna redo that one before I do the 5.56. Looks like that motherfucker went right through this bitch and barely even expanded like at all. Full Metal Jacket 5.7. Didn't expect much more. Probably expecting the same out of the 5.56, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna aim probably high on that one because it's set up for 50 with the red dot, and hopefully hit the bottom one. So as you can tell, I missed on that one. I think I shot high, but wanted to point out I had a failure to eject. I'm gonna have to deal with that. So that 5.6 hitting this won't be in the video. because I missed the first shot, overcompensating for distance. And yeah, so hopefully you liked the video. Like and subscribe. If you want to see the 6mm and the 6.5 competing in tests similar to this, leave a comment. It'll probably be 123 grain versus like 76 in the 6mm, or whatever they come in. I'm not exactly sure. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you next time.